Hi guys, we are making our keto scalloped potatoes out of Daikon radishes. And trust me, this is a recipe you don't want to miss. So let's get to it. What I did is I purchased one, two, three, four, five, six Daikon radishes from my local Sprouts. I know that Whole Foods carries them too. I don't know where else you can get them, but they're out there, trust me. This is what they look like after they've been peeled. I peeled them all. Normally they have these little strings growing out of them. You just want to scrape that off. Chopped off the edges that looked rotted because that's just how they come. They grow in the dirt. And now I'm going to cut them into scalloped potato sizes, put them in my strainer, and then we're going to boil them. So I don't have one of those things that makes slices perfectly really quick. That would be way easier. Instead, I'm going to use a knife and I'm going to cut what I think is a good size of a scalloped potato. And I'm going to do this with all of them. And then we are going to place them in a pot of boiling water with lots of salt. Probably about 2 tablespoons of salt. We're gonna boil them probably for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then they're gonna go in the oven, preheated to 475. That's gonna be the magic number. Try not to cut them that thick. That's a little too thick. It'll still work, but it's a little thick. So you get the idea. And then we're gonna make a cheese sauce. And then when they get that crispy look that I'm looking for in the oven, I'll pull them out, cover them with the cheese, and then we'll bake them again. It's that easy, guys. And if you do this right, these will taste exactly like scalloped potatoes. That's too thick again. But trust me, if you have one of those things that makes slices for you, that would be way easier. I'm gonna stick this piece aside, maybe chop it up into little weird pieces or something. It's just way too thick and I don't wanna cut my fingers. So no reason for you guys to sit here and watch me slice all of these. So we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back. Just like that, guys, they're all cut up. I've got a pot of water boiling with about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3, of salt. And we are just going to place these cut Daikon radishes into this pot of boiling water, and we're going to let these boil for 15 to 20 minutes. They don't soften, so you don't have to worry about overboiling them. We just want to boil out that bitter flavor. See you when it's oven time. The radishes have just completed the boiling phase, and we are going to strain them now and get them ready for the oven. And we are back. They are strained and ready for the oven. Here is both pans. This is what they look like. I have the oven set at 475, and they're going to go in there until they are lightly crisp and brown, about what a regular scalloped potato would look like. I'm gonna go ahead and season these first. Most people would season them with like salt or pepper. You're free to season them with whatever you want. For my seasonings, I'm gonna use some sea salt. I'm just gonna grab a couple pinches and just sprinkle this around. These really don't smell good unseasoned. I'm just gonna be straight up with you guys. They really don't. I don't know if I just have a very sensitive nose or what, but they do not smell good. All right, so I'm gonna put some Flavor God Dynamite seasoning in here. Just gonna go ahead and coat the tops of them where they look coated. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of hot wing seasoning on them because that just sounds amazing. You make your cheesy potatoes any way you want. We like spice in this house. All right. Let me turn you guys around so you can see me placing them in the oven. And here we go. Second tray. Going in the oven. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now. By the way, you have one new notification. When you see the yellow light ring on your device, it means you have
Alexa,
a notification or...
Quiet. These might be longer than 15 minutes, but 15 minutes is when I like to check them again. See you guys soon! While we wait for the radishes to bake in the oven, we are going to work on the cheese sauce that we will be pouring on top of our scalloped potatoes. You guys, I don't measure anything, all right? So just watch. Anybody can make cheese sauce. I promise you, you can't screw it up. So what I have in here is a half a stick of raw butter. I prefer raw butter over pasteurized butter. You use any butter you want. Anything I'm using, feel free to change it. It doesn't matter. So far what we have right here is a half a stick of butter. I have an entire shallot cut up that I'm going to saute in this butter. Let's turn that heat up a little bit. We want to maybe not get the onions quite to translucent, but I definitely want them to look like they are cooking. Maybe I'll turn up the heat just to speed this process up for you. Pan's still pretty hot from boiling the scallops, so that helps. Butter melted right away. If you guys have never tried raw butter, I suggest trying it. It's fantastic. It's really good. Really, really good. All right, this is gonna be the longer process to the video. And I apologize, but that's just the way that it goes for the cheese making part. Get that hot so we can get it going. Okay, what I'm gonna be using is I'm gonna be using some salt. I like to use the pink salt. This is from Hawaii, but you use any salt that you like. I'm going to be using some hot wing from Flavor God. This sounds delicious to me in a cheese sauce, so that's what we'll be using. A little bit of the dynamite seasoning from Flavor God. Some minced garlic, which I'm going to add now because this is finally heating up really good. We've got a half a block of cream cheese, and I have one shot, I believe it's 1 to 2 ounces of whiskey. Whiskey or tequila will make your cheese sauce fantastic. You don't have to add that. I've just been making cheese sauce for a while, and it's what we like. So I'm gonna go in with, what would you call that? A heaping teaspoon of garlic? Well, guess what? I'm gonna do 2 of them because we really like garlic. If you don't like garlic, don't use that much. Give this a little stir. You definitely do not want to burn your butter, so keep an eye that the butter does not burn. It can start to brown because that's a good butter flavor. Do not burn your butter. All right, we're gonna add a little bit of salt. And do a good little pinch of it. Another little pinch. Okay. We need to cool this down, so I'm gonna add some heavy whipping cream. This butter is about ready to burn. So heavy whipping cream. Cool that down. Perfecto. Now we're gonna turn the heat down a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and add the cream cheese. I'm gonna chop that up with my, well, it's not really gonna chop up. I'm gonna chop that up with a wooden spatula. Just so it melts easier, quicker, doesn't take forever. All right, and for the purpose of this video and the fact that I'm in a hurry, I'm using pre-shredded Monterey Jack cheese and a little bit of Mexican 4-blend cheese because I'm kind of in a hurry, and I really don't mind a few of the additives that come in shredded cheese. It doesn't really bother me. I've been keto for so long, I'm not super strict. I'm strict, but I'm not crazy strict. So this is looking fantastic, and we haven't even had a cheese other than cream cheese. And it smells freaking amazing. Like, I don't even know what... Like this by itself might be fantastic. Let's try it. Oh wow, there's not even cheese in here. And that would make a really great sauce. Okay, let's add our whiskey. Turn the heat up a little bit. Ooh, look at that, everything's separated, nice. Gonna blend that right back together. Cream cheese is melting perfectly. Gonna add a little bit of our dynamite. A little bit of our hot wings. I kind of want to color it a little bit, so I don't know if you, let me see if you can see how much I added of the seasonings. That's what that looks like. So you guys right back there. This little stir. Wow, this looks fantastic. I'm impressed. And I'll probably have to add more heavy whipping cream, but that's okay. All right, so now we're gonna go in with the pre-shredded cheese. Like I said, I'm just using Monterey Jack. I feel like it mixes up better and melts better in keto recipes. So here's one giant handful. If you guys wanna figure out how to measure that, go ahead. Now you gotta remember, I made 2 servings of the scalloped potatoes so that we could save some for later. So I'm gonna have to make a pretty big batch of cheese sauce. If it looks like it's like an absurd amount of cheese, that's the only reason why. There's 2 batches of it. So there's 3 handfuls. Just for fun, let's add a smaller 4th handful. Then we're gonna come over here with a little bit of Mexican 4-blend cheese, and we're gonna just add some color to it. Give it just a little bit of more flavor with some other cheeses. I'm just gonna do 1 handful. We will be adding bacon to the top of it when it's all ready to go in the oven, and I also got this from Sam's Club. Just give this a stir. For cheeses, I like to use a rubber spatula. If anybody's wondering where I got this cast iron pan, I got it from Target. I love it. My other favorite pans are by Hexclad, but this pan is great for everything, and it can go right in the oven. Like I could have put the potatoes in here and the cheese sauce and just put it right in the oven, but I didn't. So if you guys can see how that's melting. It's melting up really nice. And I'm just gonna keep stirring this and adding a little bit of heavy cream until it's the consistency of the sauce that we like. I'm gonna add a little bit more cream. If you accidentally add too much cream and make your sauce too watery, just add more cheese. It's really easy to like fix any mistake. You never have to throw everything out completely unless you burn it. If I burn something, then I end up throwing it out. But like this, there's no way you can mess it up. This is gonna be a fantastic cheese sauce. Look at this. I might even have to add more heavy whipping cream. All right, but you guys get the point of how I made the cheese sauce. So I will see you at the next part when we're pouring it on. And we're done. These took probably about 25 minutes total, not the 15 minutes. So what I'm gonna do now is, because they shrunk up really nicely, I'm gonna actually combine them all into one pan, because there's no reason to have 2 pans with this amount. You can see how much they shrunk up from before we put them in the oven. So I'm going to combine them, and then my husband is going to bring me the cheese. We're gonna pour the cheese in. All right?
Okay.
Let me just make sure these are like good.
Okay.
Don't they? And I'm gonna give this a little stir to make sure nothing burnt on the bottom, okay? And we don't want the whole thing, because I made a lot of cheese. I didn't expect them to shrink up like they did. Okay, let's try that. Oops. I'll probably steam some broccoli for the rest of that cheese, Because that seems like it'd be really good.
Or we can just eat it.
Okay, you guys, if you don't think these look like scalloped potatoes, you all are on drugs. Look at that, babe.
They look great.
So these are gonna go back in the oven just to kind of set everything. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle some bacon on top. Do you want some chives?
Sure.
Chives or bacon first?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Sam's Club. Bacon, Sam's Club. We love this bacon. It's so easy to just throw on anything.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna use one handful. I think that's enough.
Yeah. Looks good.
That looks so good. All right, I kept the oven cooking at 450, and this is gonna go right back in. I'm surprised I'm able to hold it straight out of the oven. Oh, there you go. So we're gonna bake this for probably about 5 minutes, and then we are ready to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed making it for you. We're back, and everything's done. Would you look at this? Keto scalloped potatoes, radishes, but they're potatoes. And for the main dish, we are having chicken mozzarella meatballs from Sam's Club. Thought you guys might like to watch me plate it up, and then that'll be the end of this video. I'm going to have a couple meatballs on my plate. I think I'll have 3. They were cooked easily in the air fryer. Bye guys. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.